Okay, we are on Skill 18, dividing mixed numbers. We're on the back side of the page. The directions say divide and simplify each quotient. This video is going to go through several of the problems of the odds. So we'll start on number 1, and then we'll just skip around and do some of the odds. Number 1 is 1 4/5 divided by 1/3. Remember, the first step dividing mixed numbers is to change the mixed numbers into improper fractions. 1 4/5 is 1 times 5 is 5, plus 4 is 9. It can be rewritten as 9/5 divided by 1/3. 1/3 is a regular fraction, so I don't have to convert that to an improper fraction. The second step is to then multiply by the reciprocal of the second term. The second term gets rewritten as 3 over 1. Then I should check to see if anything simplifies. 9 and 1 don't share a factor other than 1. 3 and 5 don't share a factor other than 1. So I now multiply my numerators and my denominators. 9 times 3 is 27. 5 times 1 is 5. I get an improper fraction of 27/5. 27 divided by 5 is 5 wholes. 5 times 5 is 25, with a remainder of 2. And the denominator remains 5. The quotient is 5 and 2/5. Okay, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to number 3. And I need to kind of move my screen over so you can see number 3. And number 3, I've got 3 4/7 divided by 3 1/2. First step is to convert the mixed numbers to improper fractions. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 4 is 25, 25/7. That's divided by, I've got 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 7/2. The next step, after you have improper fractions, is to multiply by the reciprocal of 7/2, which is 2/7. Now I have, I check for common factors. 7 and 25 don't share a factor. 7 and 2 don't share a factor, other than 1. So I can't simplify anything, which means I multiply my numerators. 25 times 2 is 50, and my denominators, 7 times 7 is 49. And I get 50/49, which is really, really close to 1 whole, but it's just a little tiny bit over 1 whole. 50 divided by 49 is 1 whole with 1 left over, and the denominator remains 49. The answer is 1 and 1/49. All right, let's go check out number 5. Need to reorganize my page just a little bit, and we're on number 5. There, now we can see it. 2/5 divided by 4 2/3, or 2/5 divided by 4 3/5. This is a really good problem to check out because some kids are confused about what to do with that first fraction 2/5. And what they need to remember is just to not overcomplicate it. It's not a mixed number, and it doesn't need to be converted into an improper fraction. Just leave it alone. 2/5 stays 2/5. The second fraction, the mixed number, actually does need to be converted into an improper fraction. Of 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 is 23, 23/5. The second step is to then multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 23/5 is 5 23rds. The next step is to check for things that simplify. 5 and 5 share a factor of 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 2 and 23 do not share a factor other than 1, so they don't simplify. Now my numerators are 2 times 1. My denominators are 1 times 23. And 2 and 23 don't share a factor, so the answer is 2 23rds. Alright, since we're just focusing on the odds, I'll go ahead and move this to show number 7 next. There's my whiteboard, there's number 7. It's 2 1/2 divided by 4 2/5. First step, is to rename the mixed numbers as improper fractions. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that first term is 5 halves. Second term, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. It's 22 fifths. The second step is to then multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 22 over 5 is 5 over 22. I check now to see if anything simplifies. Diagonally 5 and 22 don't share a factor other than 1. Diagonally 5 and 2 don't share a factor other than 1. So the last step is to multiply my numerators and my denominators. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 22 is 44. And that is my final answer. I'll remind you of something I taught you previously, which is that if I check carefully diagonally for common factors, if there aren't any common factors diagonally, then there won't be any common factors when I multiply at the end. And 25/44 is a regular fraction. Some kids get a little confused and they try to convert that to a mixed number or something, but it's not an improper fraction. It's a regular old fraction, so the answer is just 25/44. All right, we will skip ahead to number 9, which is 5/6 divided by 1 3/4. Like one of the previous problems, when you're given a regular fraction first, it just remains a regular fraction. So 5/6 is just 5/6 divided by 1 3/4 is 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7, 7/4. The next step is to multiply the reciprocal. 7 over 4 gets reciprocated to 4 over 7. Now I should check for things to simplify. 5 and 7 don't simplify, but 4 and 6 do. 4 and 6 share a factor of 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now I have 5 times 2 is 10. And 3 times 7 is 21. And 10 and 21 cannot simplify. The answer is 10/21. All right, continuing on our patterns of solving the odds, we're going to check out number 11 next. I'm going to put that one right here. And it's 1 4/9 divided by 6/7. And this will be the first one that I've solved on this video that shows a mixed number first, then being divided by a regular fraction. But it really shouldn't change our strategy. The first step is to take the mixed numbers and rewrite them as improper fractions. So 1 times 9 is 9, plus 4 is 13. The first fraction is 13/9. The second fraction is a regular fraction that remains a regular fraction until we do the step of multiply the reciprocal, which is what I'm going to do now. After I rewrite my fractions as improper fractions, I then multiply by the reciprocal of 6 over 7, which is 7 over 6. And then I look for things that simplify, and 6 and 13 don't share a factor, and 9 and 7 don't share a factor. So actually what I have to do now is multiply 7 by 13 to get my numerator, and 9 times 6 to get my denominator. 7 times 13 is 91. 9 times 6 is 54. And as an improper fraction, the answer is 91/54. And a lot of kids write that, and if you ever do write that on the line, that's okay. Just write it to the left, 91/54. But just recognize that the better way to write that answer is as a mixed number. 54 goes into 91 one time with 27 remaining. 27/54. Alright, so students, help me just recognize the mistake. 91 minus 54 isn't 27, it's 37. And that won't simplify. 37 and 54 don't share a factor. So the answer to number 11 is 1 and 37/54. 50 fourths.